Hi, I'm Bentley, the vigilante of professional wrestling, your current Bolton Town Wrestling and Kingdom Wrestling champion, and you're watching the Reigning Rock podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Sorry about the technical difficulties. Also, you can hear I'm a little bit ill this week, a little bit under the weather. So I'm only on the water this week, no beer for me. But I am, of course, the Golden One. Ricky Golden. This is a Reigning Rock podcast. Like and subscribe. And we have a guest. He's the man himself. He does not get bigger than this guy. He is a double champion, BTW undisputed champion, Wrestle Kingdom champion, Kingdom Wrestling champion, the vigilante of British wrestling. He is Bentley.
Hello, how are we?
Bentley, how are you keeping, man?
How are you today?
I'm not too bad. My partner's actually been ill all week, so I know what you're dealing with, Ricky.
I think there's a cold going round, and being able to wrestling I don't think helped, but I wasn't going to miss it though. So I saw you there. So what was your thoughts about the Future Shock show? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I thought it was a good show. I only went down at last minute because I was working and I messaged Jack Johnson, Mr. Salford himself, if he fancied going down after work. We went and we drove over, watched the show. Jack had a good time. He ended up having, some fun time with Riddle, apparently. I won't go into what they were doing, but yeah, it was a good show.
One was Riddle, eh? I say they did have.
And yeah, got Gangrel, right?
We had Gangrel.
Yeah, got Gangrel, Rhino, Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, I trained with Dave, but it was nice to see.
Let's talk about your career. Yeah, he's definitely improved, Dave Birch, since the days of PCW. He was in the academy, I think, at one point.
Well, yeah, so me, Dave Birch,
but
Phil
yeah,
Michael,
talk about
Jack Barron, we all started together. I think there's a bit of a delay.
So I think so, but we'll put this up throughout. So this is your page, if it shows it. There we go. Excuse me, but yeah, you've got a show coming up, I believe, I'm not too familiar about Kingdom Wrestling. I think that's Gareth Angel's company, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I think you've got a show coming up. Is it March 13th?
Yeah, so it's owned by Gareth Angel, but it's also a charity as well. So it's obviously a church charity. I don't personally have any religious beliefs, but it's nice to wrestle for a charity and nice to, be the champion of that thing. I've got the title here if you wanted to see it. so I brought it with me today. I'll show it up. That's actually, so it was called GT Ministries. So it was this is the GT Ministries title, but now it's changed to Kingdom. So I hopefully we'll be getting a new title soon.
Will help. Like,
That's a very nice title.
There's just talk about wrestling in a church. Their priests help people wrestle with their demons.
Yeah, definitely. But
you can thank the Exorcist.
Very good there.
You can thank the Exorcist.
You got a show coming on the on the 16th, March 16th.
Yeah, so it's me and Sean Only for the title next week. I've wrestled Sean Only as well on the last PTW show, so it'll be fun.
Yeah, I was there, and I've seen your BTW journey from the beginning when you first came in to now. I believe you were brought in by Stocks.
Yeah, so I was officially brought in by Stocks as his partner, and then that kind of didn't go so well. I wasn't actually ever meant to be on the second show, so it just happened by chance that I was on the second show, where I ended up interrupting Stocks, and we had the triple threat, and then from then on, I've pretty much been a permanent fixture. So it's kind of been, I'd say it's probably the most organic growth I've had anywhere, which is remarkable because I didn't expect anything like that to happen.
Your match with Stocks, the Knowles Board match, that was physical. That was a very good match. Is that your type of style, and how was it doing that type of match?
So I love a physical style, but I'm not a massive fan of weapons. I don't want to put myself in too much stupid danger or stupid, don't want to get hit on the head with things. I don't want to land on thumbtacks. I'm not that type of guy, as you can probably see by most of my matches, which is the hard hitting my matches, but it's all very not stupid. It's all safe. All I mean, I've taken bumps outside the ring, which aren't fun, but I think that's as far as I like to go. I don't want to, unless the situation calls for it, obviously.
So you do some certain things that you'd be okay doing with in wrestling, like going through tables or going through.
See, I have never actually been through a table. I mean, I wouldn't be as opposed to it as long as it was, a safe table. It wasn't if
I'm wrestling, I'd rather go through a table than glass.
Oh yeah, definitely. Who wouldn't?
What's it? As I said, you came in as Stocks tag team partner, and then you had to face him. What was it like facing him? Was it fun being in the ring with him? I know he's been around for a few years, so he's kind of a veteran. What was it like being in the ring with him?
Funnily enough, I have been technically around longer than Stocks. I just had a bit of a break in the middle, just due to injuries and just due to personal stuff going on. But I started before Stocks, so I started with Dave Birch, Phil Michael, Jack Barron, or we were all part of the same class at PCW. And then Stocks started a couple of years later at Pinfall. So, but then I'd say Stocks probably had more exposure and more experience in the ring just from me not being around for a bit. So yeah, it was good. I always like working people who've been around for a long time, just because it's fun. People know what they're doing. It's a challenge. I always want to up myself to the level of whoever I'm against. So I would rather have, if I face someone, their type of match rather than my type of match, just to challenge myself and to, make it a bigger occasion and see if I can actually hang with people.
Talk about PCW. Did you get trained by Sheikh El Sham?
No, so it was before then. I got trained by two people who I can't mention because of things, and Joey Hayes. So Joey Hayes is now the number one contender for BCW. So I've never had a match against Joey Hayes, so that's kind of a full circle moment for me when we get that one-on-one. But he's technically injured for the next show. So,
and then obviously after Stocks, it was you and Philip Michael, and again your tag team partner turned on you there. So yeah. How did that happen?
It's a common theme, isn't it? You know, me and Phil, we grew up, we trained together. We always knew each other, but so I thought when he came to my aid against the Wrecking Crew that it would be, you know, it was going to be good. We beat the Wrecking. Well, we got to the end. We beat the Wrecking Crew, and yeah, he just turned on me because no, we didn't beat the Wrecking Crew, did we? That's why. Forgot. Yeah, we lost the Wrecking Crew because of a miscommunication, and then he lost his head, and that led to, I don't know about you guys, but arguably one of the best matches BTW's had, me and Phil, which is now a rematch on the next show for the title.
Yeah, definitely. I thought it was a very good match. I do think every show gets better and better, though. But so it's kind of hard to pick a good match when they're all good. Excuse me.
Yeah, Phil's now
and then you finally dethrone Jack Johnson, and then to become champion. So what was that like? The people have certainly embraced you. They wanted you to be champion, and you finally did it. So how did that feel?
It was a relief, and also like a career-defining moment, because it had been such a long journey to actually win that title at BTW. Like, I had the Rarebit match where I won, but the decision got reversed, and then I'd had Jack Johnson beat before, and Drill got involved, and then I had to win the Rumble to get a chance, and I had to go through all that, and then it was like it was just never going to happen, and I felt like everyone came on that journey with me, and everyone actually got behind me. I thought once I lost the first time that people wouldn't get behind me, and it meant the world that people actually stuck with me. Like, even the show after the Rarebit match, they were chanting Bentley's our champion, and that was a way before the Jack Johnson stuff. So it's meant a lot to me, and it's helped me grow as a wrestler and a person.
I've unfortunately missed the Rumble show, but I do try and come to every single show. But then I go to multiple shows a month, so sorry to come to them all. Obviously, you came in as Alex Bentley, but now you just named Bentley. So why the name change?
It was kind of part of the character change. It was from, the flat cap, not really much of a character, angry man. It was part of the character development of, right, what can I actually do to what resonates with people? And I came up with the vigilante thing spawned out of me just not liking day to day, just people. I don't like injustice. I don't like when people get treated unfairly. I don't try it when the little man gets, doesn't get the chance, and don't like it when people get bullied. So I thought, why don't I translate that into wrestling? And didn't feel like I wanted to change. I didn't want the full name there. I wanted the nickname, the Vigilante, and just Bentley, because it was easier to remember, and I felt like it fit the character a bit more than having a full name, really.
But when you're called a vigilante, you don't try and take copy from other people who've gone by like vigilante characters in wrestling, like the obvious one being Sting.
Yeah, I try and do my own thing. Like, I've got the mask thing on the entrance, and then it's more like I don't try and copy other people. Obviously, it's a very similar gimmick to every gimmick's a rehashed gimmick of somebody else's gimmick in wrestling these days. But
and when you go into your vigilante character, sorry, I like the idea of a vigilante character. Like, when you go into your vigilante character, do you ever change the tone of your voice? Like two examples, like in wrestling, like not in wrestling, but in pop, like one obvious one for vigilante would obviously be Batman. Like, he would change his voice.
Yeah.
To let that script voice. Or to remember, like in the Arrow TV show, he changed his voice as well. Like, you approved this city, stuff like that. Would you change your voice?
So, as you can see, not in wrestling, when I'm not wrestling, when I'm making my entrance, I'm quite relaxed, like I am now, like just normal level toned. I feel like when I'm wrestling, I've got a different persona, really. I'm like, I'd say I come across as a lot louder and, angrier at the injustice of other people. My voice will change when I wrestle. It will get deeper and, more forceful. and probably more northern as I shout a lot more. But as you see my promos, I try and just get very emotionally into it and get the tone across.
And who do you think is the ultimate vigilante? Sorry, I just want to do that. I'm sorry because I like a vigilante. I like the historical vigilantes and all that. Who do you think is the ultimate vigilante besides wrestling in general? And if you were to bring that vigilante character to the outside world to help people, who would be the ultimate enemy?
I mean, it's got to be Batman, isn't it? The obvious answer, really. It's all based off kind of Batman. I do try and sometimes get like Batman quotes into my promos as well if I can, but try and twist it a little bit.
Your promos certainly get me invested and certainly get me hyped for the match. Now, before you became champion, you faced Franco Varga. So what was that like facing an international star?
That was unexpected, really, because usually when these imports come over, it's usually the champion gets to face them, or an established person like Joey would get to face them, or just somebody. So it was quite an honor to actually be chosen to be given that match. Wasn't expecting it. I just got told, but you've got Franco on that show, and it was good. It was a learning experience because Americans work a different way to British wrestlers. They plan a lot less. They want to do what they want to do. They're easy to get on with. I mean, they plan a lot less because you probably wrestle more, especially Franco. These imports, they've wrestled all over the world. They've had to wrestle with people who don't speak the same language. They've had to wrestle just people of all skill levels. So I feel like they know what they're doing, and it's a lot easier to get a reaction out of the crowd because of the way they are as well.
And then moving along, you faced Eisenstein well, first of all, how was it facing him? And secondly, how was it wrestling at a different venue?
I was a bit worried about the new venue because I wasn't sure if it was going to have the same atmosphere. I didn't know because obviously we've created a very core group at Ellesmere Road. It's very vocal. It's very loud. But it surprised me because it felt a lot loud. It felt just as loud. I thought because the high ceilings and the bigger room, I thought wouldn't be as loud. I thought the atmosphere would be sucked out a little just because of the acoustics. But it was really good. I was surprised at how full it looked because obviously it's a big room again, and it was. I loved wrestling Eisenstein. Eisenstein was one of the people on my bucket list this year to wrestle, or last year. So I was happy I got to wrestle him. I was happy I got to beat him. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah, he's very good in the ring. I've seen him at LWF. He kills it there. And then obviously you faced Sean Onley and beat him. That was an incredible match. Again, Sean's been around for many years. So how has it been in the ring with him?
And Sean's been around longer than time itself, hasn't he? I mean, I first met Sean a long time ago for RWL before it was. So TWA used to be called RWL and ran by somebody else in Darwin. I wrestled him in a 4-way, but that was about 7-8 years ago. And never wrestled him in a 4-way, but didn't really speak to him that much. Because he's quite a reserved guy backstage. And then I've got to know him a lot better because he's been quite a big part of Kingdom and GT Ministries. He's the head trainer there, as well as Wrestle Island. We had a feud at Kingdom when it started. I feel like I've evolved a lot in the past 2 years. So even 2 years ago, I wasn't anywhere near as the level I am now, and he was part of me growing. So to actually have a main event with him for the title in Bolton in front of the loudest crowd there is, I've wrestled in front of, it was great. And he's a knowledgeable guy. I feel like we did a very simple match, but it got over, and that is the best thing for me when I can do something simple and the crowd is fully into it, because sometimes you don't have to do 100 moves or 200 moves, and sometimes it can just be very simple.
It may have been simple, but it was good. I didn't know who was going to win. He came close to winning at times, and so, but still a good match. So have you wrestled at Wrestle Island, or are you going to do in the future?
No, I haven't wrestled Wrestle Island. It's on, everywhere is on the bucket list to wrestle. So it's just, we'll see what happens. I'm not in control of whether I do or don't. So it's just about getting out there, seeing, impressing people, making the right connections, just seeing where the world takes us.
And obviously you've got British legend Joey Hayes next. Is that at New Dawn, or did you say he's injured for that one?
Well, so Joey Hayes got taken out by the Black Sheep last show, didn't he? So he is officially written out for the next show. So BTW management came to me and asked, well, we want to put on, a match that would have been nearly as good as you and Joey. We want to put on. And I said, well, since the last time me and Phil wrestled, we've both become champions. Phil's now champion in Press PCW and BWP. We still have that lingering, who's a better man, even though I beat him last time. I think we've both evolved again. So I think me and Phil are probably going to tear the house down.
And that's part of kind of WrestleMania weekend. It's April 5th. So I'll probably be there.
I'm going. Are you going to any of the watch parties in Manchester?
Might do, possibly. We'll see. Are you going to any?
We're just looking at it. We don't know it depends on. I think director's box is sold out when I had a look, so it depends on where's available.
I think English Lounge, but I think if you want a table, then we're all booked up.
Good already. Yeah, I can't believe it. I can't believe it's booked up this far in advance. You used to be able to just book it 2 days before and you get a table.
It's WrestleMania.
Yeah, but in Britain at pubs it used to be easy, but now it's cool again.
It used to be ring up the venue and they say, yeah, fine. Yeah. Now it's months in advance. Oh God.
Exactly. I don't plan that far in advance.
So do you know when your match with Joey is happening, or have they told you?
Well, whenever he's fit and healthy and available for BTW, I think he's still like the number one contender. He's still, as long as I beat Phil, he's still the number one contender. I assume he will challenge Phil if I somehow lose to Phil. But yeah, he can have it whenever he wants. So it's on BTW and Joey to call that.
And obviously, surely the rare bit has his eyes on your title at some point. Obviously, he never got his rematch, so.
He is. We don't know where he is. He's been gone for a while. He's, Isaac North took him out, didn't he? And we haven't seen him since. He's not been on any show around the country, so we don't actually know where he is. So we'll see what happens with that.
That's what happens when you come up against another monster. You get taken out.
I know, that's something I'm going to have to watch, because Isaac North's probably going to be working his way up towards the title, isn't he?
It seems that way. He destroyed North Wales Dojo team.
Yeah, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on that one.
Ian, have you got any more questions or not?
Let's think. I'm trying to think of something.
Okay, while you think then, so is there any dream opponents in the UK you would like to face?
Oh, well, Joey was one of them, so hopefully that'll happen sooner or later. I've kind of been working my way through people, like Aton was on there, Getsky was on there, another match with Phil was on there. I would like a match with, what's it called? Forgotten. Isaac North. I've never had a one-to-one. I've had a triple threat with Isaac North. I would like a match with Isaac North.
Would Ridgeway be on your list?
I love Ridgeway. I've been trained by Ridgeway at Future Shock. But I feel like it's not my style of wrestling. It's catch wrestling. I feel Sam Bailey. I'd love to wrestle Sam Bailey. all the established guys, it'd just be great to wrestle.
If you've had the chance to face Shake, would you want to face him?
I was actually meant to wrestle Shake on a pinfall show, but he ended up not being able to make it at the last minute. So yeah, I mean, go on.
Here's a question. How would you plan a training schedule for your wrestlers? How would you plan a training schedule? What training routines?
So I currently not currently because I've been very busy, but my usual training schedule will be Future Shock once, twice a week. And then I go to the gym 6 times a week. It will be a mixture of weights and cardio because the cardio is very underrated in wrestling. You need a lot of, some people will do all the weights, do some of the training, and then 2 minutes into a match, they'll be able to breathe and they'll be really slow. I try and prime myself on.
Are there any diets you follow?
I just try to eat sensibly. I meal plan, so it's on a Sunday I'll cook all my meals for the lunches, and then I know what I'm having for breakfast most days. It's more I kind of don't overindulge, or when I do, I'll just make sure I don't follow a specific meal plan. It'll be more just not being stupid.
I take it outside of wrestling, what would you be doing then?
So I work in IT during the day, which is nice and fun. Completely different to the evenings and the weekends. I'm an avid Blackburn Rovers fan, unfortunately, because we are terrible, and I have a season ticket, which at the moment I'm not making the best use of because we have been awful for about 4 months. So I feel like I've wasted a lot of money there. But and yeah, I go on a lot of little holidays as well. I do a lot of traveling. So far this year, I've been to two countries. No, one country, but I've got 3 holidays lined up. So I do a lot of mini little weekend breaks.
Would any plans lead to wrestling events outside the UK?
Well, I was meant to have. So I went to WrestleMania in which one was it? 2 years ago. I went in Dallas.
38. That was 38.
Yeah, in Dallas. Was it in Dallas?
That was 38, wasn't it? The night Austin returned.
Yeah, that one. So I went to that, but at one point, Franco had said there was a show on that weekend and that I might be able to get on it. Unfortunately, that got cancelled, which was a bit upsetting because I thought, I'm wrestling WrestleMania weekend. But no, nothing's led to anything abroad as of yet, but always keep my eyes open. I've been to WrestleMania now 3 times.
What was it? Sorry. What was it like being at WrestleMania? Was it good?
Oh, it's amazing. It's just a different energy and a feeling. I mean, it's very expensive, but I'd say it's worth it.
Did you do?
Yeah.
Did you do Hall of Fame, Raw, Access, everything?
So the first time I went, I did everything. The second time I went with different people, so we did everything. The third time I went with my mate who we'd already been, so we just did Access and the WrestleMania. We didn't do any other shows.
So you've been to 3 Manias? Wow.
I have.
38 and which other ones?
32 and last year's in LA.
So you got to see The Rock and Reigns live. I've seen Reigns live at Money in the Bank, but The Rock, wow.
Yeah, although it was about 15 seconds the match, wasn't it? It was the Eric Rowan thing.
Still got to see him live.
And Stone Cold last year, 2 years ago.
So back to your career, and kind of a question about the title. What's your thoughts on it looking like the WWE title? Are you bothered about that or not?
No, I'm not bothered at all. I mean, this title or the Bolton one?
No, the BTW one, the Bolton one.
Oh no, I love
the UK title.
Yeah, I love the Bolton title. I think it's beautiful. It's very heavy. It's a lot heavier than this one. I think it's one of the best looking titles in the UK at the moment.
What makes it stand out from other titles in the UK?
I think they spent quite a bit of money on it. Maybe the quality of it, the design. A lot of them, it looks prestige. I think it's just the way it's been built. I think you can spend 50 quid on a title, or you can spend 500 quid on a title, and you know which one's going to look better, don't you?
Wow, with how much titles are? Damn.
I have no idea exactly how much they're worth.
How many times would you say you defend your title?
So the Bolton one I've defended Drill, Aton, Sean Honest. I defended it 3 times since September. And the Kingdom one I've only defended twice, one against Boylan and one against Dave Birch.
Boylan has definitely got a whole lot better as a tag team in him and Nishi. And Shaw, fantastic.
Yeah, they're evolving quite nicely, aren't they? I mean, they're now a good guy, so which is weird for Boylan.
So, like I said, you've got is it the 13th to 18th, isn't it? Revelation, you and Sean only.
Yeah.
So hopefully you'll beat him again there, and then on the 5th of April,
Bolton.
BTW, Bolton, you and Philip Michael again. So hopefully you beat him as well.
Fingers crossed. I don't plan on losing, so.
So have you any more questions, Ian, or not?
Do you ever try? Have you won any? How many titles would you say you have so far? Like, do you have any titles outside from Bolton?
The Kingdom one. So I've got 2 titles. I've not won any titles before this. This is my first title I won in September at Bolton. And my second title I won 2 weeks later in Bradford at Kingdom. So I went from never having a title to being double champion.
And what would you say, like, what makes the Bolton title, like, I don't know, I remember you asked me this before, like, what would make the Bolton title more important than your title in the UK, or even say Europe?
I think where it's defended, or where the eyes on it, the crowds. I feel like it's becoming quite a bigger promotion than others in the Northwest. It's getting there. It's a very new promotion for the Northwest, but I feel like it's growing an audience. I feel like in my opinion, what they should do is put all the shows now on YouTube for free. They have all the footage. There's just nothing on there yet. I feel like if they put all the shows on there, get the product out there, get people seeing it more, because there isn't a massive social media presence for Bolton. I think if they started elevating that, posting a load of clips, I think that would elevate it to the next level. I think at the moment it's at a good level. I think there's more shows this year as well, so we're doing more venues this year, and we're going back to the Leisure Centre a few times this year. I think the aim is to fully move over to Leisure Centre permanently next year, but I don't know the exact plans. I think it depends how ticket sales are. It depends how things go. But I think if things got out there more on social media, I think if it got defended against bigger, better, putting on the best matches. I feel like I try and make it my personal goal each show anyway to try and put on the best match. So I feel like with the title in my hands, we're going to have bigger, better matches, especially for the title. Going to be, try and make it bigger than ever.
I think if they do go to the Leisure Centre, is that ticket sales? You can fit more people in.
Yeah, you can fit a lot more, I think, in the Leisure Centre. So I think if it keeps doing well, then it'll just expand. It's like a natural growth for the company.
Not a bad venue. So yeah, I do like the Ellesmere Club, but Leisure Centre was
yeah.
okay, I think.
the Ellesmere Club will always have a special place in my heart. I love that. I do love that place. It's obviously where I've grown with the company, so I feel like it would be sad to not do a show there.
So, I think so. Yeah, quick.
So I think your signal cut out then.
Yeah, I'm awake. Your signal just there. No, I have no questions at the moment.
Okay, then that's all right. So thank you for joining me, Bentley, and good luck in your next your match against John Onley on the 18th and Philip Markle 5th.
Just a quick thing, actually.
I'll go.
I just want to go to just a quick thing. You were talking about earlier on. You're talking about wrestling in the church. You have a wrestling match coming up in the church, right? I take you're not going to do either. You're going to take inspiration from people like Undertaker or Raven and tie your opponent to the cross.
I don't think I won't be allowed. I don't think. I think there might be certain rules. Unfortunately, they did have a baptism pool next to the ring, but they wouldn't let us dunk anyone in it. So
yeah, well, if you ever do a baptism pool, make sure it's filled with orange juice.
Yeah, AEW.
Yeah, I have to think about these things, like the church thing. Like you can't not think of a wrestling match at a church and not think about when Sandman or Raven tied Tommy Dreamer to the cross, or when Undertaker tied Austin to his symbol, or when they nearly did that to Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah, we talk about a lot of segments involving church and a certain Vince McMahon as well, but let's not talk about him.
Yeah, I don't think things will fly that much.
So thank you again, Bentley, and good luck in your 2 upcoming matches.
No worries. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bentley.
Thank you. Bye. I see you. Bye. Bye.
But in the end, God always wins.
So yeah,
praise be to
God. Bentley, great interview. And speaking of champions, we will start this with: is it still? Is it new? Is it still? Is it new? Predictions champion. Acknowledge me. That's right. Still your prediction champion. I said Roderick Strong. You said Orange Cassidy.
Yes, I did. I think I'm
still.
I'll get you at WrestleMania.
Still champion. See if I can hold on to this throughout WrestleMania weekend. So the first segment here, of course, is, as always, is this. So what's cooking at the table? So again, 2-minute chat, what we've been up to. I've been up to the usual, going to the gym and made a poster full of the wrestling and Revolution card. I made my own card, so I made that the craft thing I usually go to on a Thursday. And that's it, really. That's all I've been up to. Obviously, I've been to a couple of wrestling events, which we'll get onto later. But what have you been up to since last week?
It's been normal. It's been a normal week. Like, it's just been normal for me. Just work, going back to karate. Nothing else going on. All quiet. All quiet.
So the next segment here, of course, is... Movie talk. So have you seen any movies since last week?
No, it seems. I suppose the only talk we have for the movie, the telly on Sunday, watching.
Watching what on Sunday? Cutting out there.
Cillian Murphy is won Golden Globe for the role. He's also won the BAFTA award. So, the second Irishman to win an Academy Award.
We'll try that out for a third time. What are you watching on Sunday?
We'll be staying up to watch the awards because we're all going to be rooting on Cillian Murphy, who's nominated for Best.
All right, so nothing to do with The Rock at all. Then nothing to do with The Rock. So irrelevant, right?
The Rock's going to be at it. The Rock's going to be at it. Yeah, no, he's not irrelevant. The Rock's actually good.
So 3 movies I've been watching, all on Netflix: Slumberland, decent film; Haunt, okay film; and last night's film, Spaceman, the new Adam Sandler one. Yeah, decent. So as I take a toilet break,
the Spaceman, and he's going to find out that stuff to be.
So as I get some more water, take a toilet break, I'll play this second. And that is right. Processing Tees Gullman's all designs and my socials on screen right now. We take a good look at those. So next segment here is this. Wrestling Days Out with Ricky Gullman, so Love of Wrestling Weekend. So it started with on the Friday evening with X-Pac, cool. Progress Show also on the Friday. Got to meet Eddie Dennis. I met Eddie Dennis before, but this is after NXT UK. He was cool to meet. Yeah, good enough show. And then obviously the Saturday. I'll get to photos in a second. I'll get to what I got off Sergeant Slaughter in a second. But of course, I cosplay competition. I all guess who I went as. But here it's a full entrance.
I'm going to say, can I guess?
Go on then.
Can I guess who you went to? Can I guess who you went
Roman
as?
Reigns. It's Reigns.
Oh,
This is the entrance you must acknowledge.
Well done.
So there we are, everyone.
Well done.
Acknowledge me.
If that was me, I could probably go. If that was me,
Apparently I
I'd probably
scored
go
quite
Stone
highly.
Cold.
Okay, apparently I scored quite highly. Didn't win. Two little kids, one dressed as Undertaker and Kane. They deserved it. They looked the part, really did the part. One of the kids did a slow walk like Taker. So yeah, they deserve to win. So I'll quickly show
Was there
the people I met.
separate prizes? Was there separate
Say that again?
prizes? Was there separate prizes?
I think there were two prizes. There were two prizes for winner and then runner-up. So there's only two.
What about so there's no like
I think
separate for women or
could
anything
have
like
got
that?
a t-shirt. Everybody could have got a t-shirt though, just for participating, and then you're going to stick that on social media and promote all of the wrestling. Anyway,
If that was me out there, if that was me, I would have gone as Austin because I could definitely pull an Austin off because of lack of hair, or I could probably do an Eddie Kingston.
right, okay. So I'll just quickly show you the people I met because you can't teach that. It's Enzo Amore. Good to meet him. He's Vince McMahon's battered son, Hornswoggle. He was great. He was cool. From Absolution, it's Mandy Rose.
Well, forget Absolution. It's more toxic attraction than
that Absolution t-shirt on. So this guy loved my outfit.
only found it well.
This guy loved my outfit. He thought it was hilarious. The one, the only, Mark Miro. Turned up 30 minutes late for another photo, but whatever.
He doesn't look like he's aged well.
She's currently in AEW. Taya Valkyrie, Jesus. He likes his hat. Jack Swagger or Jake Hager. The man himself, the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock.
Possible Hall of Famer.
Not much of a queue for him, but you've got to walk with him. Elias or Elijah or Ezekiel.
Elias had the less turnout.
Didn't have much of a. Well, he stood on the Sunday. Sunday's a lot more chill. People try and get the photo on the Saturday. Some people only do the one day. It's good for me.
Who got the most attention, would you say?
Ziggler, Slaughter, and Mandy probably. But it's good. See, I don't mind queuing, chatting to other fans. But also, it's good because less people in the queue, you're going to get your picture quicker. A few more to go here. He's the show off. He's a current champion in New Japan. Dolph Ziggler, great to meet. And I got to hold the title as well. She's ravishing. It's Lana or CJ Perry.
CJ Perry, yeah.
She was too busy acknowledging me. Also, member of the Hall of Fame, which we'll discuss later, but Hall of Famer Scott Steiner, but I don't think was too keen on maybe being dressed by rain by his look anyway. Setting a gold standard at Shelton.
Only Scotty's allowed in these conventions anymore. Rick Steiner's not allowed to be at a convention.
Why not?
He made some comments about trans people, and they barred him from it. He made some comments about trans people.
The gold standard himself, Shelton Benjamin, and last but not least, with a coin as well, for taking the Cobra Clutch challenge from Sergeant Slaughter. So a lot of photos, a lot of money spent, but definitely worth it. And then on the Saturday, there was also Future Shock. I was discussing with Bentley earlier. Gangrel in action, Rhino in not one but two matches, and Ken Champion was on the show. So that was a great show. So I then did the cosplay competition, and then the Sunday as well. I said Sunday a lot more of a chilled vibe. Get to listen to the Q&As a lot better. The queues are a lot less to get photos. So I would recommend anybody going next year, February 14th, 15th, 15th and 16th. 14th will be Progress. Imagine they do something on the Friday as well, like they did with X-Pac. 15th and 16th of wrestling. Recommend people go on the 2 days. And there were people all over the world, from people from Singapore, Romania. So this is a big thing. So yeah, I'll certainly be there again next year. Love a Wrestling 5. Tickets already on sale. Only call it 52 quid for the weekend. And look who you get to meet as well. And I got a picture of Rikishi for free.
Joe, you should try and do for next year. Try and get one of the wrestlers on. But
well, like one of the stars, but they'll want money. So I have no money. I do have money. It all goes on.
Find the one who the thing, and then maybe cut a deal.
We'll see. I'll be definitely there next year. Probably goes Roman Reigns again. I'm thinking of ideas how to upgrade it. And like I said, tickets are already on sale. Around 52 quid for the week. Oh yeah, so yeah, I met Rikishi. He acknowledged me. Spoke a lot about Roman Reigns in his Q&A. Yeah, a great, fantastic weekend. I'll be there again next year. Valentine's Day weekend. Ugh, I'll be there at wrestling. Forget Valentine's Day. Wrestling's first.
Well, hang on. No. Throwing her into a wrestling ring.
See, I couldn't say that again. You cut out. You've gone all fuzzy.
I said nothing tells a girl you love her by throwing her into a wrestling ring.
Fair enough. So let's get into some wrestling talk then with wrestling roundup. So we start with Dynamite of last week. Now, this seems to be like a very much. So first of all, for people watching, get your comments in, any questions. Also, like and subscribe. Get me to that next milestone. Only 3. I should have said it at the beginning. We're just 3 away from 350. So I did get a few more subscribers during my event Revolution. So thank you for that. But yeah, get me to 350. The next milestone, just 3 away. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me take a drink. So this was very much like a go-home show, like a SmackDown show. 4 matches, Jesus Christ.
It was done very well.
Blackpool Combat Club beat and defeated Eddie Kingston and FTR. Your thoughts on this?
That was a banging. That was a banging. It led to 2 banging matches.
Orange Cassidy went over Nick Wayne. Okay.
Yeah.
You're,
Yeah, that was a fine one there. That was fine, yes. Orange Cassidy was really a fighting champion.
Chris Statlander lost to Sky Blue. I suppose that built up the momentum heading into Revolution, but again, okay.
It did.
And in your main event, Jesus Christ, isn't that a main event? But okay, Atlantis Junior, who took the L to Chris Jericho. Okay,
That wasn't actually the main. Oh no, it was the main
Well,
event.
there's
Yeah,
only
this wasn't a bad match now because you see, Atlantis Senior was one of Chris Jericho. So he knew going into it. Now it wasn't actually it was actually a pretty good match. But like the talking points were mostly not the match. The talking point was the opening segment with Hangman Swerve and Samoa Joe. Like particularly from Swerve, like Swerve really.
I like it. I love how you make. I do love how you make out that AEW is the best thing ever. Like, it's awful.
No, like you had to hear.
Let's be honest. On a whole, it's awful. On a whole,
you had to hear this. Like, you had to hear Swerve on that episode, like, because he tore into Samoa Joe that day. Like, he brought up about Joe wearing a. That was actually got really. But like, and then Hangman
again,
went
awful. On a whole, AEW is pretty awful. On a whole, they do a good thing here and there, but on a whole, damn it, it's awful. Anyway, moving on to the show, the segment. SmackDown, your tribal chief, your head of the table, Roman Reigns, and the People's Champion, The Rock, a 40-minute segment. Oh my God! Wow. This was incredible. As much as The Rock tries to crap on the fans and says they're idiots and losers and methods, he's The Rock. They're still going to love him. It's awesome. He's back. He doesn't have to be back. So no matter what he says, they're still going to love him. And he acknowledged Roman Reigns. Oh wow!
The whole segment. Oh, I did enjoy it. Like you could see the scowl on Roman Reigns' face when The Rock came out, like looking like he wants to commit murder to The Rock. Like they really are planting the seeds well for a possible Rock betrayal leading into a possible Rock and Reigns match at next year's Mania. They're planting the seeds very well there. It kind of has a feeling like Star Wars, where The Rock is like Palpatine and Reigns is like Vader, and Palpatine is overshadowing Vader in every way as the villain, like in Return of the Jedi.
It definitely, The Rock does overshadow Reigns because he's The Rock, but this pulled that back for Reigns because he acknowledged him. Like, just wow. How can the bloodline get any more powerful? Just wow. So your first match on SmackDown, Naomi took her first singles loss against Tiffany Stratton. Okay, cool.
A lot of heat towards, because like Naomi's entrance got cut off because there's a lot of people kind of annoyed that like Naomi is taking a pin for Tiffany Stratton. Since she's gotten back, she's been thrown out of Royal Rumble. Like since she's gotten back, she's won at least one match only since she's come back. That was against Isla Dawn flipping Haley. She won a match against Haley Fire. Yeah, that was her only win so far since she's come back. A lot of people are saying like she shouldn't have left. She left TNA for this. She's taken pins to Tiffany Stratton. She was the first person to be eliminated from the Elimination Chamber. She's probably taken a bit of punishment because she walked out with the tag team title belts, leaving the company with Mercedes Moné back in 2022.
Fair enough. I bet she's on more. I bet she's on more money than TNA. Anyway, more women's action. Saw women's tag team action, fresh action, damage control. Took on Bailey and Dakota Kai. They went to no contest. Dakota turning on Bailey. Yeah, this was cool.
The moral of the story actually is never trust Dakota Kai because she can turn on you. We saw it with Tegan. We saw it with Tegan Knox at Survivor Series War Games. We saw it with Rodriguez won, and now we're seeing it with Bailey.
Baron Corbin, very quickly. I think was it 5 seconds.
Breaker.
Why is Zion Quinn not being pushed? That's my question. Like, look at the size of him. He should be being pushed. But this was a squash match.
Like, I'm liking the way Braun Breaker he's just been used at the moment for squash matches. Like, it's on for being NXT champion. Like, just give it time. Like, he'll get a definitely bigger push after WrestleMania and after the Wolf Dogs dropped the NXT tag titles, which I hope is not for a while because I like them together as a team.
In a street fight match with the return of Rey Mysterio, so now WrestleMania's actually Rey Mysterio's a star. He's a name, so now WrestleMania's actually getting a bit better for me. But he returned and cost Santos a win, leading to a much-needed win for Kalito.
No, this was my street fight that happened on the Raw before. It was much better, though, I think. But no, this was like up. You had the rest of LWO. Then you had Zelina Vega come out to confront Santos, but that didn't work either. And you just think that Santos going through the table, all of a sudden, booyaka, booyaka, 619, booyaka, booyaka. What do you think of Ray's masks lately?
That's cool, yeah.
Yeah, like that was definitely like that's one of the masks he wore from. That's a great Muta mask.
And then your main event,
and then you have Ray come out, and then hang on, just let me finish. Then you have Ray come out, and then you get Carlito to win. It needs to be Ray versus Santos. It doesn't need to have Angel and Roberto or any other member of the LWO. It has to be Ray versus Santos one-on-one.
And then with Kevin Owens on commentary, your main event on SmackDown, more fresh action. So Randy Orton pick up a win against Austin Theory. So his only loss since returning has been Elimination Chamber. So I think he's having a good return. Yeah, this was a good main event.
Well. He lost the Royal Rumble match.
Everybody loses the Royal Rumble match. Loses it.
From the 4-way.
All right, okay, yeah. Right then, yeah.
One thing about this match was KO he pulled on KOs that he ever did when
you cut it out
through the ropes and then he got caught in the RKO. Like Fair went for that move, he goes through pretty similar to what he did Born in 2010.
So kind of going back here, my rating for Dynamite, bronze, quickly, what was your rating for it?
Well, kind of gold. Like, it was the intro with Swerve, the 6-man tag, and then the ending with everything that went down with the Bucks and Sting, and just Sting coming down from the rafters. It's definitely worth a gold there.
And SmackDown, decent, I'll say, because of the Rock and Reigns. I'll say gold because of the Rock and Reigns. Like them too.
I enjoyed the streak.
It was a filler. So quickly, level up. 3 matches this week. So Channing Stacks Lorenzo knock off Kale Dixon in 2 fresh matches. Lola Vice went over Ren Sinclair, and Javon Evans picking up his first ever win in WWE, and he beat Javier Bernal. So cool. Your thoughts on Javon Evans taking a win?
I haven't watched NXT Level Up yet.
Right, but your thoughts on Javon taking a win?
I've heard good things. Like he's definitely someone they're going to be looking out for. He's very, like, for his style and all
So for level up, I'll say a silver. And let me take another break. I need a toilet again. Too much water. I'll be about 10 seconds. Give me
water. I'll just play some commercials.
So, of course, next we'll go to Rampage. So, Claudio Castagnoli took a win against Regido. Who? Who's that?
These are more the talent that are coming out from CMLL in Mexico.
See, this is a problem with AEW. You have them beating. You'll have like, well, AEW doesn't have stars. You want to talk about? Give me a second. You want to talk about a lack of stars in WWE? AEW has none. Stars that wrestling fans know who all these people are. Again, outside the wrestling bubble, nobody knows anybody in AEW. Maybe Jericho, that if you follow Fozzy, but that's it. But you'll have these stars beating unknown people. How does that get them over? Beating absolute jobbers. It's like, of course they're going to win. And that's why AEW does not want to grow. And we'll get to Revolution. So there's nothing on Revolution that makes them grow outside the wrestling bubble. You want to stay inside that bubble and do not want to grow. Anyway, your thoughts of Claudio beating Regido, whatever he bloody called?
The match was fun, but I knew coming down to it, Claudio was winning anyway, just to build up momentum going into Revolution.
More jobbers, Lance Archer and the Righteous, oh God, beat Luke Langley, Vought and Anya. Again, more jobbers, more unknown people. Your thoughts on that?
More momentum for Lance Archer going into Lance Archer for Revolution, and just I haven't seen the Righteous in a very long time. Like,
it's not really momentum with the beating jobbers. If they're beating these unknown people, it's like, who cares? Have you heard of Voight, Luke Langley and Anya? Have you heard of those?
This was a tag match.
Have you heard of
this
them?
This from the previous match? No, not the.
And the jobbers continue. Trish Adora, again, who lost to a returning Riho, is it Riho? I don't even know.
Riho.
Yeah.
Riho.
Have you heard of Trish Adora? Have you heard of her?
I know of Trish. I know the name of Trish Adora, but no, I know Riho more. But yeah, Riho was winning that one.
It's a problem. This is why people aren't watching. This is why the ratings haven't gone up in 4 years, because nobody knows these people. Anyway, your thoughts on Ryu having a good return?
It was a simple match for her, but now she's got this, and now this week now she's going to be going up against. I think it is. I think she's going to be. It's not. I don't know if it's. Oh no, it's either Tony Storm, Deanna Purrazzo. She's on Dynamite tonight anyway.
Yeah, I'll be tuning in. And Magnus, another unknown person.
I would have gone with Matt
Sydal to get into the Scramble match Revolution.
I would have gone with Matt Sydal on this one, because like I didn't think they needed to add someone from CML in, because they were trying to get a lot of people from CML for Revolution, and a lot of them were dealing with passport issues getting across the border. I would have had Matt Seidel go over on that one because he is very an underrated talent, and
So because of the
just to have a full
10,000 because of the 10,000 jobbers on Rampage, less than bronze. Jesus Christ, what's your rating for it?
I'm gonna say bronze, especially, but I did enjoy Claude. First match.
Going through Collision before we go to Revolution. So let's quickly go through Collision. So Dante Martin to get into the scramble match. In a triple threat match, he knocked off Penta and Brain.
That was a fun match. Now that was fun. I was going with Penta originally, but then I think during the prediction somebody said Dante Martin, so it would have to be Dante Martin. It ended up being Dante Martin. But Dante Martin is really not is pretty good anyway.
Well, Wikipedia. Again, when people come right on Wikipedia, what the hell they like. But Wikipedia knew that Dante Martin and Magnus was already in the match. So I don't know how. Maybe Collision and Rampage were pre-taped. I have no idea.
I think they were pre-taped beforehand, before Revolution.
Angela Risk. Have you heard of her?
No, she lost to Toni Storm.
Mariah May.
Mariah May.
These unknown people.
Well, actually, Mariah May used to be a model in WWE.
Angela Risk, who's that? Bang Bang Scissor Gang got a win against Dark Order.
Oh, Dark Order! How the mighty have fallen there.
The Dark Order, as Jim Cornette calls them.
And that probably led to the 12-man that happened on the pre-show on Rampage.
In more tag team action, Private Party defeated Christopher Daniels and Matt Seidel.
So when did Private Party actually turn heel? Because they had the 12-man tag with Jeff Jarrett, Willie Mack, Sanjay, and Jay Lethal.
I don't watch AW to know who's heel, who's face, or what's going on. Sandra Golden. Not Goldman, but Golden. Who's that? Who's Sandra Golden?
Is she any connection to this podcast?
Not at all. But she took a loss to Thunder Rosa. that blank look says it all.
No, I gotta start looking more of these people up.
And to end Collision, your team of Christian Cage, Killswitch, Roderick Strong, and Brian Cage defeated Orange Cassidy, Hook, Trent Beretta, and Daniel Garcia.
That would have been a fun match now. Like, you figured some people would have gotten most of the bill. I figured like the other side would win leading up to the bill, looking for the switch in 8 going into Revolution, which we're now going to get to.
So for Collision, I'll say bronze for your rating.
I'll say probably a bronze or a silver. Maybe a bronze. I didn't actually watch it, but I say something.
So Revolution, so we'll start with the buy 0 hour, not the buying anymore. So the 12-man tag, was a mess. It was okay. Satman Singh is off in the ring. He's just like Great Khali or almost big guy, but can't do much.
He's mostly just the muscle. He's the bodyguard.
But the heel face team, so Bang Bang Scissor Gang. And now Jay White's face, when did that happen? And just what a mess. And they won. Bang Bang Scissor Gang take the win. Your thoughts on this?
It was basically, this would have been a match you could have had on Collision now. I don't think it was necessary. And plus, it was just there to give a pop for the Bang Bang Gang. But I do enjoy them. Like, it's kind of mixed because there's 2 conflicting styles within the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. Like, why haven't they gone back to go after? But here's the question about it: why haven't the Bang Bang Scissor Gang gone back after the Undisputed Elite? I mean, although those 3 groups were both attacked by the Undisputed Elite.
Who knows?
Why haven't they gone back from them?
Why does anything happen in AEW? Women's tag team action, clunky, botch after botch. Sky Blue should not be in a ring. This was when it seemed to go on forever with no end in sight. You already Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander take the win. Awful.
Yeah, I think you're kind of. I think you're setting up for a potential betrayal from one of them, either Statlander or Nightingale, to join Malcolm Bevins. Or Stokely Hathaway.
Stokely Hathaway, AEW.
Stokely Hathaway, Malcolm Bevins. Yes, Stokely Hathaway, Malcolm Bevins, NXT. But no, I could see Statlander betraying Willow at some point. They say Willow will get a shot at. Willow will get her shot, and then she'll lose that, and then Chris Statlander will betray her.
And you just kind of skated over Sky Blue and being dog crap in the ring. Jesus Christ, she's bad.
But you get good shots of her backside then.
But she's awful in the ring. That's what I'm looking at. In-ring skill, she has none. Your first match on the main show. Now, unfortunately, I missed some of this because the stream went off. But what I saw of it was good. Daniel Garcia, even though he lost, was put over.
It was good. Like my only complaint was like there was an injury to Christian during it, an injury to Garcia. So Christian had to throw Daniel Garcia over the top rope a few times until his leg just came back to his knee got back together. So like he is getting a lot older. But no, like it was fine. But no, like they're saving that for whenever he gets back to Adam Copeland.
I mean, 10 seconds. I need to let my dog out 1 second.
Well, we're waiting on that. We're waiting on that. You lot have a look. Well, you don't wait for that. We will play this.
So yes, Pro Wrestling Tees and WWA World Wrestling Alliance, all that is in the description. Also in the description is a Podbean from the a voice review from Progress. So check that out in the description. But yeah, you had Christian winning here. That was no shocker. Now I forgot the next match.
Versus Brian Danielson for the.
Oh yeah, that was
Kingston versus Daniel Bryan. Nice.
Wait, look,
this was a banging match.
No,
this was an absolute. You had
banging, no, decent, yes. Way too much ground game, way too much grappling for me, way too much kicking out finishers. Hard hitting, yeah, it was good.
But you want to show that Eddie Kicks is strong. Like Eddie Kicks, there was a bit of hard hitting, especially like a few of the chops they were doing on each other. But no, Combat Club from Mox, Claudio, and Danielson.
Eddie Kingston, walkout is still champion. So yeah,
yes.
I didn't think we were going to take the title off him anyway. He's only just won that. So
he won it. Held it since December.
So next up here was a scratch. Yeah, they didn't explain the rules for this. I thought I was expecting the WWE style scramble match where.
Yeah, they pin each other. Like remember the scramble match where Brian Hendrick was champion for a few seconds.
Yeah, something kind of like a WWE one. That's what I was expecting. They really didn't explain the rules at all. This was very clunky.
There was a few messes. There was a few
jobbers
messes
in
out.
there, like you had
There was a
Dante
bit
Martin
messy.
and Magnus in there, 2 jobbers.
We botched a few times during it. The highlight for me was the meat section when all the when like the powerhouse wrestlers like your Wardlow, your Powerhouse Hobbs, your Brian Cage and Lance Archer, they were just crashing each other and fans were going meat, meat, meat. That was fun. That was fun. I would have loved to have seen the likes of Wardlow, of Ruth, of Miro and Keith Lee in that. But then there was the whole thing about Miro revealing that he had been injured and Tony Khan did not know about it. He's been on the injured list since January.
So hang on, he doesn't know what's happening in his own company. That tells you everything, doesn't it? Like I said, very clunky, lots of botchers. Overall, he's a decent match. Warlow won, so he's now going to go on to get a title shot.
More likely at the next
next
AEW pay-per-view.
It's Dynasty, isn't it? I think. Moving along, title match for the international title. It was Roderick Strong taking on Orange Cassidy, and this is what kept me the title here. Roderick Strong took the win. You're a brand new international champion. Good match.
It was a very good match altogether. Like, Strong was just really a bigger threat there. Like, I was kind of going with Cassidy because I think like he avoided all the other threats put forward to him by Strong, but then Strong just got the win there. And then the whole thing changes when Kyle O'Reilly comes out. His hair is long. He's wearing a pair of shorts and a shirt looking like a homeless person. And you think he's going to join the Undisputed Kingdom, but then he throws the shirt away.
Very good match. Definitely not. I've never seen a very good match in AEW, ever. In the 4 years I've been up, 4 or 5 years they've been around. They've never put on a very good match, ever. At all. Decent to good is their ratio. But Kyle O'Reilly looking at a sleep for 10 years. Jesus Christ. Ugh, damn. Next up, tag team action. FTR taking on Blackpool Combat Club.
Oh, now this can show AEW. AEW has always been great with delivering tag team wrestling. They've always had this thing with tag team wrestling, and they do.
We haven't. No, we haven't. I've never seen a great tag team match in AEW ever. Again,
need to look hard.
Decent to good, and I've never seen anything above God in AEW. Nothing.
It was an absolute battle. Just an absolute battle.
A battle doesn't make it great though. Nothing in this pay-per-view is going to make me tune into Dynamite, so it didn't do its job. They put on good pay-per-views, but that's it. But beyond that, they do nothing. Are they really that good? If they're not going to make me want to tune into Dynamite, nothing I saw on Revolution thought, oh, I've got to watch Dynamite. No. So they didn't do their job, so how are they that good? But this tag team match seems to go on forever and ever and ever and ever. Dr. I don't know if he got...
Not going to change.
Actually got cut open properly or
yes, he did.
hardware. Yeah, this was good, but again, all these matches so far all could be on a Dynamite quite easily. Yeah. More women's action. So the women's championship being defended as Timeless Toni Storm. Now the thing with Maria May coming out, that was cool. So they're trying to make everything into WrestleMania. This is the type of thing you see at WrestleMania. And then obviously Sting we'll get onto later, his entrance. These are kind of WrestleMania entrances, not just a random throwaway pay-per-view that you totally can't call the greatest pay-per-view ever. What a mark. It wasn't. But yeah, Tony put the title on the line against Diana Perazzo. Too much ground game for me. I was a little bored during this match. It was decent. You had Tony retain. Your thoughts?
I thought it was a fine technical, but Tony Storm couldn't make the honor. Reed Smith, sorry, so it went there. At least she couldn't make Diana Perazzo submit. So, like, one thing that disappointed me was that there was no return.
Of Jin, you cut out there, but no return of Jimmy Hayter. Or not, I know you've said
I
this
said
somewhere else.
one thing that was a bit disappointing was no return for Jamie Hayter.
Right, I just said that, yeah. Moving on to the greatest match ever. Jesus Christ. Everybody in AEW had to mark for themselves and they try and outmark each other.
I was saying, just before we got cut off there,
yeah,
there was no return for Jamie Hayter.
Yeah, we moved on. We moved on from the relevant people. Moved on from the relevant Jamie Hayter. So, Will Ospreay taking on Connor Takeshita. Yeah, good match. Not the greatest match ever at all, unless you're a mark. Unless you're a mark. AEW mark. This was nowhere near the greatest match ever. I've seen better matches on Raw, and Raw's bad.
That was absolute.
It was decent. It was okay. Could that have been on Dynamite?
That's sort of like,
yes, it could. Yeah. But all these marks on the internet making it out to be the greatest match ever. Not at all. But you had Will win. As I thought,
now he's going to be on Dynamite tonight against Kyle Fletcher.
Probably.
And like there might be a big debut tonight on tonight's Dynamite when they're unveiling the new logo, but that's something I'll keep to myself.
Well, Roman Reigns isn't debuting, so he won't be big. Moving into the triple threat match to the AEW Men's World Championship. Swerve Strickland, Samoa Joe, Hangman Adam Page. Yeah, good match. They all were fighting for it. They all wanted to become champion. I usually don't like triple threat matches because you always got that third man out of the ring and he just sat there doing nothing, waiting for his spot. But yeah, this was a good triple threat. And the finish was good. You had Hangman Page tapping out and Swerve just couldn't get there just in time. Samoa Joe retained. Yeah, what's your thoughts?
I think Hangman wanted to tap out. Because and that was great.
Yep.
Time off for that now.
Right, he's cut out there. Anyway, so let's move into the main event. So, there's certain spots, obviously. The glass spot, stupid, ridiculous. He was endangering the fans, endangering himself. Ridiculous. He could have bled to death. A glass went into a fan's face, and apparently they put on the Tron and they put on the tickets. If anything hits you or falls on you, it's basically your fault. You can't do anything. Wonderful. Was the spot needed? No. It was all about Sting, Darby trying to get himself over. Ugh. Awful. The match itself was good. You had Sting's sons coming out. That was cool. That was a nice moment. yeah, I'll throw it like a 5-minute match, over and done with. But yeah, they had a good 20-minute match. Sting taking a lot of bumps. Yeah, perfect way for Sting to go out. Sting and Darby retain, as I said, they would. Relinquish the titles, as I said, they would.
Ricky Steamboat and Flair.
Yeah, that was cool seeing them and Ricky Steamboat. It was Flair kind of falling into the glass. Jesus Christ, just danger everywhere. Yeah, a good way for Sting to go out. These last spot totally spoilt it for me. Just so stupid, putting fans in danger. Wasn't needed. He's taking the moment away from Sting. No one's going to remember. Well, they're going to remember it for being how stupid it was. This is not a WrestleMania main event. And he's going for the title and facing Roman Reigns. And he's got to go through the glass to defeat Reigns. This was some match on a pay-per-view watched by probably not that many people. Has been remembered for how stupid it was. Anyway, your thoughts on the match?
I enjoyed it I enjoyed it for what it was. Yeah, the Darby Allin stuff was very gay and probably a bit stupid. But like you did, that mad bastard did that. You cannot admit that it wasn't. It also fun to watch. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it was shit for the people who got the glass stuck in them as well.
It wasn't fun to watch. I was going through glass wrestling. How many times was The Rock, Reigns, Stone Cold, The Undertaker gone through glass? No, they've never gone through glass because they wouldn't. They wouldn't go through glass because they're not stupid.
Shane McMahon has gone through glass. Raven has gone through glass in WWE. Both went through glass in 2001.
Shane went through like a thing, but he didn't go jumping off a ladder, putting fans in danger, and
Marty Jannetty's been through glass as well.
Was that real glass though? But in a match, how many times do you tell me in a match in WWE someone's gone through glass and the glass has gone in a fan's face and they've nearly bled to death? None. That's how many, because they're not idiots. They're not stupid. And even if they did do that, at least they're getting WWE money, not AEW money. Like, Dobby can't be on much money. He's not exactly on the rocks money, is he? So he's doing it for very little money. But as a rating for the entire show, I will say it was a good pay-per-view and a good main event despite the glass spot. So we'll give it a gold.
I definitely think it's definitely an early contender for pay-per-view year. Like, there's still more to come. Like, with WrestleMania coming, that's going to have some work to do. But it was fun. Like, the good outweighed the bad into it. So yeah, I'd give it a gold anyway, or a 9.5 out of 10. But it was a fun.
It's got some work to do with The Rock. Having The Rock there has just completely overshadowed Revolution. Even if The Rock does 10 seconds, it overshadows Revolution. So
you have two outings for Cody and Roman as well, and a tag team match and a singles match at Mania as well.
And you have to get that. Right, okay. I'm discussing The Rock, and you have to discuss Cody. Okay.
He is part of the story, isn't it?
Right.
Anyway, let's get to Raw.
A relevant part of the story. Nobody cares. That's why The Rock's come in, to make people care. Anyway, talking of Raw, and talking of your boy Cody, so Cody Rhodes kicked off Raw along with Seth Rollins, basically just talking about Roman Reigns, and basically they've accepted the tag team match. So yeah,
Diarrhea Dwayne.
He's a bigger star than Seth is ever going to be, so whatever, okay. But yeah, this was
like, you think backwards, do you think he's going to come out with something better than Diarrhea Drain? Because it's funny at first, but when you look back, it was kind of cringe.
And apparently there's certain looks, if people pause it, Rollins is giving that look to Cody like, I'm turning on you, kind of thing. So I think people are expecting the turn to happen at Mania.
There is that look there.
It's happening. Cody's getting
but there are two, like
screwed at Mania.
But there are like, you have the turn of like, is Rollins turning on Cody? Is Reigns turning on The Rock? Is The Rock turning on Reigns? Because like you see signs with The Rock when The Rock does the point to the sky and he holds his thumb up like he's saying loser. Like, is that a sign he's going to turn on Reigns? Is everything that's going on when the Roman had that big scowl on him? Is that a sign he's going to turn on The Rock?
You have Rollins turn on Cody and then The Rock turn on Reigns.
You could have that, yeah. And then you'd have Cody win, and then you could have Cody versus Rollins for the title, and then you could start to build for Rock versus Reigns.
No. Rollins turns on Cody, The Rock turns on Reigns, so it's Rock Reigns next year for the title. But you could also have Rollins turn on Cody in the tag match, and then Cody and Rock turns on Reigns in the main event on night 2. And Reigns is set to surpass Hogan, so I would fully, if people wanting Cody, fully expect Reigns to retain. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, he was here last week. He's here again. Ramsey, we want Cody.
How's it going, Ramsey? Good to hear from you again.
Sucks. No, he doesn't. He's the biggest movie star in the world. How does he suck? He's a multimillionaire. I'm a Cody crybaby. Nothing to be proud about.
Thank you for your comments, Ramsey.
Last week. Anyway, nice to have you here, Ramsey. Get liking and subscribing if you haven't already. Even if you do repeat what you said last week. Moving along, comes out Dominic Mysterio. This was actually good. Dominic stayed in there with Gunther on top. But yeah, Dominic stayed with it.
There was a little point to it because Michael Cole acknowledged Sting's retirement. He said, congratulations, Sting on retirement. Pat McAfee was having given praise to the match now. I think they had to cut him off there.
Pat McAfee was saying a lot of weird stuff. He was saying, if I come all over you or something, and when Michael Cole had the antlers on, like he was just saying some weird stuff, like
PG. Apparently, they're going to be micromonitoring the commentators from now on. Like he's not going to let commentators like Michael Cole speak in the ear the way Vince would do it. Like he's micromanaging the commentators now.
He said this he said this copy and paste. All
Arab WWE fans hate The Rock because he supports Israel. You actually did say that to us last week, Ramsey. Right. Think of something different now, mate, while you're listening to us. And we're not talking about politics.
Don't go with the same script. Think of something else.
I know,
anyway,
it's not Groundhog Day.
Women's tag team action saw Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark come out on top against who did they beat? Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. Okay.
And next week they're getting a shot against the Kabuki Warriors.
Do you think they win really costs the Kabuki Warriors?
No, I don't think. I think the Kabuki Warriors will go in as champions. I think
Shayna and Zoe should win, but a more fresh tag team action. Imperium came up short against the Judgment Day. This was a good tag team match, I thought.
Apparently now there is talk of setting up a match to separate the tag team titles into WrestleMania. So I'd say we could see a series of multi-man matches from both Raw and SmackDown where I could see the Raw tag team titles becoming the World Tag titles like what they have already, and then the SmackDown titles become the WWE Tag Team Championship.
Yeah, I suppose. Stone Cold
Stone Cold better than Rocky as a
He's
wrestler
coming
and
to
as a
the gym.
man.
So yeah. The Rock's more entertaining as a wrestler. Well, yeah, he had a technical match with Brett.
Austin was a better wrestler than
Stone
Rocky.
Cold never could could never, because the top stars don't need to. Cena, Rock, Hogan don't need to wrestle. Why should they? Better man. The Rock's done a lot for charity and stuff, and he's helped a lot of people out. Anyway, Hall of Fame inductee, but we'll get into that later in news. So Sammy's Michael Antlers on. He was loving that.
He was having fun, and that's what they're doing. They're micromanaging the commentators now.
But Ivar came up short, unsuccessful against Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn continued to build wins heading into WrestleMania.
And now we're going in with a gauntlet match going into who faces Gunther. It'll be Sami Zayn versus Bronson Reed versus Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn. I don't know now, like, because there are a few people who could be there. Like the two people that I think are between Sami Zayn and Chad Gable. But I think whatever happens, I think this is going to set up the planned talk of a multi-man ladder match at WrestleMania for the title.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I would have Gunther lose it in. I'd have Gunther lose it in a ladder match to protect him. He should not be pinned or submitted yet.
Yeah, but I think if you're going to put it on someone, I think the first to do it is Chad Gable. There is actually talk of two ladder matches at WrestleMania. There's talk of two ladder matches at WrestleMania that I'll get to later.
So two more comments here from Ramsey. Stone Cold doesn't take CM Punk place at WrestleMania like Rocky did. Because Austin's at the big name the Rock is. That's why.
But actually, technically, he didn't take Punk's place at WrestleMania.
No, he said Rock taking Cody's place.
Yeah, but he said,
I have Chad Gable win. Chad spelled. Chad is spelled
C-H-A-D.
If it's a lot of, I think I'll still say give Zayn the win. Not bigger than CM Punk on the mic. The Rock's the biggest name in the world. In the world, the Rock's bigger. Anyway, and in your main event on Raw, Drew McIntyre continues to build momentum heading into WrestleMania, defeating Jey Uso. I'm surprised that Jimmy didn't cost Jey the win. They need to be setting that up. But yeah, this was a good match.
And then Seth came out to save Jimmy, but then he got hit in the belt by a belt cord.
So I'm going to give Raw a bronze, unfortunately.
I think last week was better, especially that 3 fights.
What would you rate it for this week,
babe? What they bring. I'm looking forward to see. Oh, you forgot Becky and Nia.
Did they do anything in the ring?
They did. They had a match in the ring. Liv Morgan and then Liv Morgan and Nia winning by DQ, and that's
I did. Yeah.
Yes, I did. Liv Morgan. We're also getting the gauntlet match. So with Becky and Liv, I'm kind of hoping this takes Liv out of the picture because I want Becky and Rhea 1-on-1. It needs to be Becky versus Rhea. It doesn't need to be a triple threat or fail 4-way. It just needs to be a generational 1-on-1.
So yeah, Nia Jax with a DQ win against Becky. Okay. And before it can be triple threat, fail 4-way. Unless they're doing the Battle Royal at Mania. What do you do with Liv and
Well, I've actually got some news on something for the women late, but I'll get to that later.
And so what's your rating for Raw?
I will say silver.
And finishing up here with NXT. Kicking off with the Asylum match, gun match to kick things off. Dijak saw a win against Joe Gacy. I said gun match to kick things off.
Yeah, this started it off pretty well. It was a lot. It didn't have the violence that the first one was in Chris Jericho, with Jericho getting the thumbtacks in the back. But no, it had its silly fun moments in there, especially with Joe Gacy being able to wrestle in a straitjacket.
Yeah. Tag team title time as Baron Corbin and Bron Breakker and Baron Corbin. Jesus. Retained against Chase U. Decent match, but I don't think they're losing the titles until
I'm really liking Bron Breakker.
At least stand and deliver.
I'm really liking Bron Breakker and Baron Corbin as a tag team now. I really like the Bulldogs. Bron Breakker is just really starting to show more personality and more of what he can do in the ring.
Yeah, and I think they probably maybe lose the titles at Stand and Deliver, depending who they're going to face, but we'll see. Sean Spears made his official in-ring debut, and he faced Finlay's son, or as he's known in NXT, Uriah Connors. This was a squash match, but the promo at the end, I thought that was good.
Hello?
Did you hear that? The squash match for Sean
Yeah,
Spears, but the promo was good.
Oh, yeah, that was a good start. Apparently, the person he actually beat was David Finlay.
Brogan Finlay, Dave.
Brogan Finlay, yeah, it was Brogan Finlay. He beat Brogan Finlay. Like, that was just a warm-up match. But, like, and everyone's thinking, oh, he's getting a name change. Like, this probably just it was just a warm-up match. Don't worry, I'd say that will just lead to something else in the near future. Like, we've seen certain people in NXT, they make their debut and they're given a crap name, and then they're given something else. Like, Damian Priest was a fine example. When he made his debut, he had one match, he was given a different name, and then he was Damian Priest.
Give me a second here. Yeah, I think they keep it with Sean. I'm surprised they kept it with Sean Spears. But...
Yeah, this is the thing I said last week. Like, WWE under Triple H seems more lenient on wrestlers using their original names, like Sean Spears or like Andrade El Idolo, who also made his return on Raw this week. If you forgot to mention, he returned against a man who beat him for the United States title, Apollo Crews.
Apollo Crews, yeah.
But he actually is just going by Andrade. He's not going by Andrade El Idolo.
He's been back 2 months, and that's his first match. Damn.
Well, look, it's his first match. Like, just give him time. Just give him time. He's only just gotten back, so it'll move up bigger when we get out of when WrestleMania season is over. Like, I thought he'd be involved in the championship, possible. Maybe he'll still be involved in the multi-man ladder match.
You look like Wade Barrett's on the commentary table. Well, yeah, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Another title match on NXT, a second title match, a second tag team title match. So the Kabuki Warriors retain against Lyra Valkyria and Tatum Paxley. Also, they pinned Tatum Paxley, as I thought they would. Yeah, a nice, decent match.
Yeah, it was fine. I'm really liking the Kabuki. Like, I'm hoping they go in for a bit of a longer run into Mania as tag champs with the Kabuki Warriors. Because I'm liking this run they're having at the moment.
More women's action, more fresh action. So Fallon Henley get a W against Blair Davenport. Sol Ruka made a return, cost Blair the win. So that was cool.
She is gorgeous. She is absolutely gorgeous, Sol Ruka is.
Your thoughts on Fallon defeating Blair?
Yeah, it's good to see her get it. It was good to see her get a win there. I was thinking Blair would get that. But there was one thing we didn't talk about that was leading into after the Kabuki Warriors versus Lyra Valkyrie and say her name again, sorry.
Tatum Paxley.
Tatum Paxley. It was Roxanne Perez really going psycho heel and just breaking Lyra Valkyrie's shoulder and seeing like that was just really good thickness there. Like I'm really loving Psycho Roxanne. Just
Who can be them two again at Stand and Deliver? Ugh.
Well, like I'd say this will be probably her send-off match before she goes to if she's going to the main roster after Mania. This will be her send-off. She is ready for that stage of her career now.
You had the No Catch Water crew come out, but of course they were joined by the one, the only
William Regal.
William Regal. So great to see him again. And of course, the fact that the fans know who he is and who his son is. So this certainly put over No Catch Quarter crew. So I thought this was cool.
Well, apparently now that's probably going to be the only appearance he'll ever have because he's not going to have a major TV role in NXT or in the main roster in the near future. It's more backstage. It's more backstage office now with Triple H.
Another comment here.
Did you know that Ambre WWE fans hate Mansoor because her gimmick Did you know Arab WWE fans hate Mansoor because her gimmick is gay?
What?
Well, Mansoor wasn't
Mansoor's
a she. Mansoor was a he. Mansoor was the Maximum Male Models group you think he's talking about.
And it's a gimmick. It's not real.
Yeah, and plus WWE didn't only not fired him because of his gimmick. They fired him because of cuts.
Yeah, nothing for it.
But there is a talk that he may come back with Mansoor because there's talk of like Tyler Breeze wanting to form a faction with them.
Really?
Yeah, they're like he was in talk about that.
Okay. And oh god, that haram and Islam in Islam.
That haram is it in Islam.
Okay. What's Roman Reigns in Islam?
I'll look it up.
And I lost my track here. Thank you for that. Anyway.
I think you're going into the main event. The main event was this.
And yeah, Tony D'Angelo defeated Carmelo Hayes.
And then the hype.
So now it's Tony D'Angelo versus Ilya Dragunov for the title at Stand and Deliver. Is that a big match for Stand and Deliver? I suppose.
It helps probably Tony D'Angelo get into that status if he decides to break away from being a tag team wrestler and into a single star. But no, I can't see him winning. So like, I think we're getting basically like there's 4 matches we know we're getting at Stand and Deliver. We're getting Ilya Dragunov versus Tony D'Angelo, Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes, Lyra Valkyrie versus Roxanne Perez, and Sean Spears versus Ridge Holland.
No, that's next week. He said he's next week.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So we've got 3.
Well, whether they do the match next week or he just beats him up and then he still do it at Stand and Deliver or not, but
that'd be more.
But for NXT this week, I'll give it a rating of silver. Again, another good NXT.
Yeah, it was a good show. There were some good matches. I'd say silver. The tag team title match was the highlight for me.
What, the men's?
Yeah.
I'm
saying Ilya Dragunov should be drafted to Raw or SmackDown.
Is that a question?
If I was to draft Ilya Dragunov, I would draft him to Raw Imperium.
Yeah, maybe. Raw, but not Imperium.
I don't think he wouldn't get over. I don't think he'd get over on his own. I think with the history, you have to put him with Imperium because I don't think Alexander Wolf is coming back to WWE at the moment.
And before the final segment, I'll play one more video here and take another toilet break. I'll be damn quick this time. Again, too much water.
It's like a racehorse.
So play this.
Welcome to my store on Pro Wrestling Tees. Check out my beautiful dog logo on this black.
So you got all my socials right there, and if only do all that, more importantly, like and subscribe. As we've got another comment, I'll read that, and then we'll get to our final segment.
We know what it is. I know what it is.
This
Anyway.
is about The Rock.
No.
I hope, oh God, I hope Brock Lesnar return. Never happening. And if what he's been rumored to have done, no, thank you. So our final segment is this. Let me find that. So news and headlines. So a little bit of news. So apparently AEW brand new logo and stage, because that's what they need to fix. That's what's going to grow the audience. Fixing the stage. Apparently, didn't they only get a new stage not that long ago? And logo. That's what's going to draw the audience.
No, the logo was still the same. The logo was a bit still the same, just a different color design. Like they've always had different rainbow colors, so
it's a change. So your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's a change. Like everyone is saying, it's very similar to the NXT 2.0 one, but like they've always had rainbow colors in their logo. Like NXT 2.0's logo is very like that game Splatball from Nintendo. But there was more than this. There was a lot of stuff. There was a lot of news coming out of the AEW press conference calls and out of Revolution, because now since Revolution has aired, we've seen Sammy Guevara has gotten suspended for the botch he did on Jeff Hardy. Mike Santana was released after that one. He got released. Mike Santana, of course, was Pride and Powerful with Ortiz, longtime tag team known as LAX back in TNA. They were signed to AEW back in 2019, one of the first few signings that Tony Khan made in the first year of AEW. Of course, being remembered being part of the inner circle with Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Jake Hager. Unfortunately, though, they never got to the top with the tag. They never got to held the tag titles. Like they're always after they broke away from Jericho, they teamed a lot with Eddie Kingston. Then things personally didn't work out for them. Santana got injured. Then they tried reuniting. They reunited to join the Blackpool Combat Club to fight against Kingston, and then their personal issues got ahead of them, and they just didn't work. They had a match on AEW Rampage with Santana winning, but since then Santana was never used on the telly, and Ortiz was relegated to Ring of Honor. So Santana's now gone. Like where he goes is the next thing. Whether he goes to WWE or he goes back to TNA or goes on the Indies, we'll just have to wait and see.
And your thoughts on him getting a new stage or a new set, whatever it is?
Yeah, the stage is fine. Like it's still nice. So I just want to see where the action is, because there may be a big debut happening on AEW tonight, but I'm going to keep it lip sealed there because some people may have already seen it on social media. Because that's a little powerful. What else is happening? Well, Tony Stark's addressed someone who hasn't been seen in AEW in a while is Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks, of course, and William L. Morrissey lost the tag team titles to Sting and Darby Allin before Revolution, and there was a lot of speculation late last year that Ricky was going to leave AEW when his contract expires and go to WWE. Of course, Ricky Starks is friends with Cody Rhodes and Jade Cargill, but then Tony Khan confirmed in the press conference that Ricky is still with AEW. His contract has not expired. Another thing coming out of the press
But if he went to WWE,
WWE,
it'd be because of that. Nothing to do with Cody.
Well, he's been friends. Well, he is friends with Cody, and he is friends with Jade. Like,
got nothing to do with the money at all, was it?
Well, but he gets money as well. But like at the end of the day,
that's not the factor at all. It's because
if his friends are there, his friends are there.
That's the only
Another
reason.
thing with Ricky Starks.
Money.
Another thing with Ricky Starks, if he does come to WWE at some point, like I could see, like he would get over well. He does, like he has a look and charisma. He reminds me of the early years of The Rock. So just the look, the charisma, the way he is on the mic, the fashion. It just reminds me of that early days in The Rock.
So, moving on with news, the women, that's WWE. I don't know. Is it?
Yes. Yes. Earlier on, we were all talking about the idea that WWE is going to do a multi-man ladder match at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental title. But now here's this. Multiple insiders within WWE have confirmed pitches for a new women's mid-card title to be introduced in a ladder match at WrestleMania 40. As of these reports, the belt is set to be named the Women's Intercontinental Championship, with a respective veteran, either Natalya or Naomi, winning.
Naomi's not a veteran. Okay.
Well, she technically is a veteran. Like, she was with WWE before TNA. She was with WWE for a very number of years. So she's never been recognized as a veteran, and that goes for Natalya as well. Natalya has been with WWE for 10 years, and she has not been recognized as a veteran. Like, when it comes to veterans, the only two people WWE have ever recognized are Trish Stratus and Lita. They never recognized anybody else, from a Mickie James or the Bellas, anyone else to being a veteran. It was only Trish Stratus and Lita.
And the final piece of news. Sorry.
Before that, just go quick. Before that, but if you're going to give it, like, Natalya and Naomi, yeah, they're two options because they're veterans. But if you had any other option, the other two would either be, for me, Liv Morgan, just to give her something at WrestleMania, or Dakota Kai to increase damage control in the women's division.
And of course, the final piece of news here is
the Hall of Fame.
The Hall of Fame. So, of course, we'll get to the inductee in a second. But today, got announced Bull Nakano, something that people have asked for a while. She's going into the Hall of Fame. I'm not too familiar with her, so
well,
she deserves it.
Bull Nakano was very big in Japan and Mexico, competing in CMLL as well, which is also where a lot of other wrestlers from AEW are coming in. She was in the early stages of women's wrestling in the early 90s before it got really bigger during the Attitude Era. Like, she beat Alundra Blaze for the women's title as well. She was very inspirational on a lot of wrestlers, like, say, Saraya. Saraya has mentioned before on Steve Austin's podcast that she was a big fan of Bull Nakano growing up.
And of course, the inductee, the wise man, the advocate, owner of ECW, former SmackDown general manager, Paul Heyman, well deserved. Of course, a certain beast won't be inducted in, whether it be Reigns or not, I don't know, possibly not. But yeah, well deserved. What do you think?
I think it is definitely well deserved. He is probably the best man. He has gone on to become the best manager of all time. And like, if it wasn't for Paul Heyman, Steve Austin wouldn't have developed the fire that he got in to develop the Stone Cold character. Mick Foley wouldn't have been able to develop to become Mankind. He was also during ECW, he brought a lot of people in that were wrestling in Japan and Mexico and into America. He brought in Eddie Guerrero. He brought in Chris Jericho. He brought in Rey Mysterio, and he brought in Dean Malenko. He brought in even Chris Benoit, but less than that, I'll say less than that. Like, he did do his part. He had done his part with ECW, and then when ECW folded, he went to WWE. He was given the tough task of replacing Jerry Lawler, but he pulled it off for what, like, I loved him, and I loved Heyman and Jerry Lawler working as a commentary team. They really blended well together. And then when it came, like,
And do you think
I would have loved to have seen something with Lawler and Heyman during commentary.
Rams induct same, or would it an ECW guy?
I think it's as it's in Philadelphia, it needs to be someone from ECW.
I mean, possibly the Dudleys, maybe they're inducted.
Tommy Dreamer's in a possibility because of the relationship between WWE and TNA. CM Punk is a possibility as well. Like, he did bring in CM Punk. He saw something in CM Punk that Vince McMahon didn't.
Certainly won't be Brock.
It won't. It would be. That would be a possibility as well, but no, it wasn't. But now, who goes into the Hall of Fame next? We've got Paul Heyman. We've got Bull Nakano. A lot of people are still hoping for Bray Wyatt this year, but it may not be possible. Like, another thing, this is the first Hall of Fame that Triple H gets to select the inductees. This year, Triple H.
I thought The Rock was going in this. I thought The Rock was going in this year, but clearly not. Clearly, Heyman's a headliner. Surprised that.
Well, as it's in Philadelphia, it has to be Heyman. Well, there's a few, like, there is rumors Haku could be going into the Hall of Fame. If they're doing the celebrity wing of the Hall of Fame, the one person I want to see go in, and well deserved, it has to be Lemmy.
I'd put Cyndi Lauper in. I think she deserves it. I think she's turned it down. I'm not sure.
Has Cyndi Lauper not been in the Hall of Fame yet? I don't think.
She deserves it, though. The Rock and Wrestling connection.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, that's definitely. It'd be between those two, either Cyndi Lauper or Lemmy.
Yeah, and apparently there's talks of DDP getting the
Warrior Award. Yes, he well deserves that. He would be getting that because the success of DDP Yoga and what it's done to wrestlers who have had issues with alcohol abuse, like Jake Roberts, or of course the late Scott Hall. He had his demons as well, and what it did for them before, like, so, like, that could be used for, if that can help them, it can help anyone.
He's helped out a lot of people. Obviously, Scott Hall and Jake Roberts.
Yeah.
But he made his return at Revolution, didn't he?
No, DDP wasn't at Revolution. He was at he was last seen at the Royal Rumble press conference.
Jake Roberts.
Oh yeah, Jake Roberts was at that. Yeah, he was at that.
Looking old. Hopefully they get him for Love of Wrestling next year. And Paul Heyman. I want to meet them all.
Oh, Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman would sell out the whole place.
Well, people have bought the tickets now, or some people bought back. Give me another second.
Oh, that's old.
Some people have bought the tickets now because of just how great it is. Without even a guest being announced, just how, because it is, Love of Wrestling is fantastic. How, it's the biggest in Europe. It's treated as, I suppose, access for people that can't afford to go to WrestleMania. They can come to this. So, and apparently, in access, it's very much, if you get an autograph, it's very much next. Or a picture, it's pause, next. Very little time you get with them. So you didn't get much time for wrestling, but I asked a couple of questions, and yeah. I think that's it for news, isn't it?
Yeah. Those are the main little stories there.
So yeah, so do join us on Monday, Sporkle Quiz of Fame, and then here again next week. May or may not have an interview. We'll see who we can get on. I'm still trying to get on.
Maybe we could do a bit of an Irish thing. Maybe we could do a bit of an Irish thing. What about we try someone Irish? Because with Patrick's Day next weekend.
Yeah,
What about an Irish?
if you know any Irish wrestlers that can come on, then yeah.
Try talk to someone from OTT about that. Yeah, because Patrick's Day that weekend. Like OTT had a show
Yeah.
recently, so
If
they may have something else.
they're willing,
So I'll look it up. Could look it up.
if they're willing to do it for free, and I know them and I know their career, then fine. Otherwise, if it's like
Right.
some unknown person in OTT, they come on, I don't know what to ask them because I don't know them. So
Well, there's a thing called.
I don't know every wrestler in the UK, but awesome.
Well, you can look it up. You can do a bit of a look up, but like OTT, that's like we'll look it up and see what we can get.
I think obviously OTT, they're probably going to have wrestlers based in Ireland. Yeah, we can see. You know,
They've had wrestlers. They have wrestlers based in Ireland. They've had some of the UK wrestlers there, like British Strong Style competed in OTT. Gunter competed on OTT as Walter. They've had a lot of guys from AEW compete. Balor has appeared in an OTT show. Yeah, we'll look it up.
Yeah, so next week, Spoko quiz on Wednesday, and then this again next week. And once again, a big thank you to Bentley. March 18th, Kingdom Wrestling, and then BTW Bolton Town Wrestling on the 5th of April. So kicking off WrestleMania weekend, what better way than getting to a wrestling show? And yeah, the tickets were like £11, so very cheap. I'll be going, I would imagine. So yeah, if you're in the Bolton area, get yourself down there. BTW April 5th, not March 5th, April 5th. Excuse me. Also, do subscribe. And from me, it is out. But remember to acknowledge and electrify.